How did you get involved with Get Lucky?
I met Daft Punk 17 years ago at a listening party here in New York City for their first album. I was a fan of theirs.
For their first album?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was a fan of theirs because they
Ahead
had
of the curve on that.
Yeah, well, they had this really great cut called Defunct, which I loved. And then when I met them, it was right after my partner, Bernard Edwards, had just died. So they had told me that they were quietly dedicating this record to Chic and Bernard. And then they went on to tell me how they were such great fans of ours. And I was a little bit shocked until I listened to the record. I went, oh, okay, I can hear you. The reason why the Get Lucky thing has put me in the spotlight is, think about it. You look at that little clip. It's not a full-length video. It's very easy to watch. It's just a short thing that is sampled, and the only two faces you see are Pharrell and mine, because you just Daft Punk are doing the robot thing. So you can only focus on these two human beings that you see. And plus the record's a great record. I mean, we wrote that song, when we wrote that song, which was also 1 block away from here.
So you wrote that with them. It wasn't a song that they brought to you and then they asked you to play on. You guys contributed work together.
That's how it started. The concept was, oh, Nile, come and play on this song. But then when I got there, we deconstructed it, and I said, look, they specifically asked me, how did you make Chic records? And I said, well, it's funny that you say that, because we're actually recording in the studio on H Street that we recorded the very first Chic's hit single, which was Dance, 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 Yowza, Yowza. And I said, well, here's how we do it. So I took the song apart and basically rewrote it.
Wow.
And then everybody else then played to what I did.
And then you guys got lucky. Essentially,
at that point
with that song, you got really lucky.
Well, think about this. What happened was, Pharrell was in Paris. And all of this stuff was very nonchalant, by the way. So Pharrell happened to be in Paris. He called the guys up. They invited him over, and they said, hey, Pharrell, what are you working on now? And he said to them, he said, man, I'm really working on trying to get like these Nile Rodgers type of grooves down. And they looked at each other and they smiled and they went, well, check this out. And it was like, he got lucky. It was like exactly what he was working on, they had already done with me. And they just handed it to him and said, well, listen to this. And there were 3 songs that I had already written with them, which wound up being Get Lucky, Lose Yourself to Dance, and Give Life Back to Music.